Would you like to know more? Welcome to Warmaster Podcast episode 38 of Adventures in 3D Printing. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit unusual. I never like to stick to convention too much. In that we're going to be looking at something that we've looked at before, but we're also going to be looking at a couple of different things in a minute. So quickly, what went on was John saw the previous video and he was a little bit unhappy about how I was struggling to deal with the supports. So being the rock star that he is, he created a new set of files with a lower level of support. So obviously by fiddling around with the orientation of certain models and reducing the overall number of supports. And then what that meant is I've reprinted them and they printed absolutely fine as they did first time. But also I had absolutely zero damages and they were quite a bit easier and quicker to clean up. So I'm just going to go through the models again so you can see, maybe you can see some differences, maybe you can't. Standard Zenith undercoating as I've ever. I was running a bit short. I'm going to have to go to Halfords and replace them, I think. So we have those fellas there. We'll get out the flags and the hero. So I do love the flags. I do love the overall vibe of these snake cult dudes. I think there's only a day or two left on the Kickstarter. I think I looked yesterday and it was on about $7,500, so going along great guns, but only a couple of days left, so maybe he's got some surprises in hand. And if nothing else, just go and get yourself a set of STL files, and then you can print at your leisure. One thing that John did talk to me about was that I was using a pair of standard kind of sprue cutters to remove most of my supports. Now, they are very soft, so they don't take a lot to knock them off, the supports. So, but some of them are quite difficult to get to, and so John suggested using a hobby knife, or I've actually got a scalpel, but a hobby knife will do it to get into the kind of difficult to reach parts. So that is a nice little tip from a pro. So that I did do that. As always, you're going to get the odd bit of detritus quicking around even after undercoating and washing and stuff, because the nature of supports is they can be quite small and they can get kind of lost and stuff. But these fellas are looking very nice. We've got the final set here. So I've printed off 2 sets of these now. And the front hands are so delicate and they come out pretty well. Let's see if I can break one now by pushing at it. No, that's pretty strong. Yeah, using my water-based resin. So cleanup's interesting. You go through a lot of water and then you've got to find some way of disposing of said water, and you do get a little bit of this furriness in undercuts. But I may talk about my workflow again at some point, but maybe in a video or two's time, because I have definitely improved. So I also printed off these are salamanders, I believe, in the Warmaster game, little poisony skinks. So he's done these as some kind of different types of lizards with different spines. Very nice, I like those. These will probably scale up quite well as well if you wanted to print them at a different level for maybe a different... Oh look, I managed to not get out. I didn't even spot there was a support there. I mean, there has to be a support there, I guess, or I could change the orientation and kind of lean the whole miniature back, and then, yeah, probably still need a support, wouldn't it? I don't know if you're going to need a support there, and I didn't spot it, but that really is an incredibly small support. It's probably only about 1 millimeter thick, if that. So I didn't spot it. I'll have to try and clean it up with a knife afterwards. So these are our salamanders, so poison skinks. They kind of work like skirmisher stands. In the game, they're I've never really been overly keen on using them because they tend to make a bad unit more expensive, and that's kind of, although you're mitigating how bad that unit is, it's still not a unit you ever want to put in combat. So yes, very interesting design though. I do like those. And then we have your standard. There were loads, absolutely loads of these. I couldn't even tell you how many different individual models to print off. I just printed a selection off, so I printed 3 of the whatever. There are lots, and the handler, and then the Skinks. I think there were about, oh my god, there were so many different variants of these as well. So just to fill the bed, I printed off 4 of these Skinks. So what have we got? What have we got going on here? They're not supports. What is it? Is it got like a toga or something on? Yeah, maybe it is. So barely any supports on these. I think that's maybe what that toga's about, to try and pick up the bottom of the bow here. And this bow's connected to his leg. So and this bow, yeah. So there were very few supports at all on this model. Maybe one or 2 at most on each model, and the use of this kind of, yeah, I guess it is like a Roman toga, isn't it? I'm sure there's an Egyptian or whatever the vibe is. I'm sure there's an Egyptian equivalent, but I only know it as a Roman garment. Yeah. And so you have to have 4 units of these. I don't take more than 4 units of these, and if I can get away with it, I stick them somewhere out of the way and don't use them, just to protect the brake. I don't know what is that thing there going through the middle there. Is that, oh yeah, oh, so it goes over his shoulder and down. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah, interesting work to try and kind of use a piece of cloth rather than the support there. I like that. Cunning bit of work, John. Okay, so this was just a quick update. I said to John, if he redesigned the supports, I'd print them. I've left it a little bit late, but hopefully you get to see this video before the Kickstarter ends, and you can get yourself over to Kickstarter, and if you want to get involved, get involved. Okay, see you next time.